So welcome back to Next Gen Dev. In this video, we'll talk about variables in Golang. Variables are something that is used to store a data. For example, we have a water bottle. Water bottle stores water. So water bottle is a variable that stores water. Water bottle can't store other things such as pen or a bag or something else. You got the point. It is a variable that is made to store water. So we have different things here. There is a variable and there is a type of variable. Variable is something that stores something, and type signifies what that variable stores. So there are different things to consider while writing variables. In Golang, when you create a variable, it is similar to other programming languages. There are similar types such as int, float. We'll get down to that. So let's get started. And before starting this video, I please want you to subscribe and like this video. It would motivate me to produce more videos like this. So thank you, and let's get started. So let's first create a file. So it's variables.go. I would upload all these code on GitHub so you can get that. So as in the last video, I've told you that before starting any code, we need to specify the package. So it would be package. Again, it can be package main, but you could also write package variable. Inside this package, we'll create a function again. So function main, and inside this, we'll start creating a variable. So before creating variable, let me give you some intro about it. So on the basis of variable, we can divide programming languages into two parts. One is the statically typed programming language, and second is a dynamic type programming language. So in dynamically typed programming language, the types are decided at the runtime. So when you execute the code, the runtime environment will decide what type of variable you have created. For example, in Python and JavaScript, you don't specify the types of the variable. You just write the variable name and whatever you have assigned to it. But in statically typed languages, you specify the types of that variable before during the compile time. So these two are the different types of programming language on the basis of variables. In Golang, if you want to create a variable, there is three steps. First is you have to specify that you are creating a variable. So in order to specify that, you write a keyword called var. Var is a keyword that specifies this is a variable. Now, the second parameter is what type of variable you want to create. What is the name? Sorry, it says that what is the name of the variable. So let us create an age. And the third is the type, what type of variable it is. So as you know, age can be an integer. So let us do that. And that's it. You don't need to even add a semicolon in Golang. It automatically adds up. So this is the basic structure of creating a variable. You can also declare any value to it or assign any value to it here, or you can use this variable and you can assign it here. It's all up to you. So as you can see here, there are three basic steps. After following those steps, you could create a variable. There is a second way of creating this variable, which is a shorthand way of creating a variable. That is, wait, let me show you. It is a num. Let us create a variable name called num. Now I will write a colon and equal to, and then the value. So these are the two basic ways of creating a variable. In the first way, we have specified the way that it is a variable, the name of the variable and the type of the variable. In second time we didn't do anything. Why? Because we know that the num will take value 12. So the Golang will automatically say, oh, it's integer value. That means that it will have a type int. As you can see here, it is a shorthand for this var num int, which we did here. But whenever we are creating using the second way, we need to declare the value of that variable at that time only. So what we could do, we could print here, and I have told you in the last video how to print. So you could use that FMT package. I could print age, I could print num, and wait, yeah, that's it. Then I would just run my code. So go run variables.go. Okay, so I have to make it a main package. Yeah, it's in the folder. I would tell you about the folder structure of Go, how it works. It is quite different from the normal. So yeah, because every folder needs a main file and a main package in order to execute. I have told you in the previous video that each entry point of execution goes through the main package. That's why it was giving an error. So let's do it again. As you can see, you got these two things. First one, age, you didn't assign anything. So whenever you don't assign any value to a variable, it takes its zero value. So for integer, zero value is zero. For float, it's again zero. For boolean, it's false. For string, it's an empty string. So these are the zero values of a variable. Okay, so let us explore some more variables. So we can do float as well. So where what I could do, marks and float. So we have two types of float. One is float 32 and one is float 64. So float 32, as the name signifies, it means 32-bit float numbers only, and 64 is 64-bit float numbers only. Mostly you will be using float 64. So let's go with that, and let's make it 45.5. So this is the second type of variable, which is float. We also add some comments. Oops. Integers. Then we have floats. Well, it is giving me a warning because I haven't used this variable. So again, we could use that separately dot print. Let us use println this time. Okay, so what I could do is your marks is, and then add, yeah, so your marks is, and then you could concatenate it with the marks. So println won't allow you to do that. Let us use just print. Okay, so why this error is giving? Just ask yourself why this error happened. This error happened because we are concatenating a string to a float, which is not a valid thing. You can only concatenate a string to a string. So I guess this is a topic for typecasting, which I would discuss in a later video. So for now, I would just ignore this. I would use printf, and yeah, I would just write your marks is percentile d, and then the marks. See, now the error is gone. So you need to check whether these, it's float 64. Yeah, it's not an integer. All right, so now it would work. And yeah, it's working. Yeah, as you can see, it's float 64. And also, as you can see here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros after decimal. You could also control that by using, by writing point. Wait, what happened? Oh, I pressed the delete button, my bad. So you could, yeah, you could write 0.2f, which would limit it to only two decimal places. Let me show you that. And as you can see here, you have only two decimal places printed here. So as I have told you in the last video, that do check the documentation of the Golang. It would help you to learn these small things, which could work in your favor when you are giving an interview or when you are writing an assignment. So the third type is the Boolean, which goes by the name bool in Golang, in var is admin bool, and initially you can make it true or false. Again, it's up to you. Then what we have arrays. Arrays is the most common variable of all time, I would say. It is the most important variable. You should know arrays. It is the most important topic of programming. So I would give you a brief intro about arrays. So arrays are basically a data structure which is used to store continuous data. What I mean by continuous data is whatever data an array stores, it stays in a contiguous memory location. So the first data would be stored in, let's say, memory X. Then the second data would be stored in X plus 1. Third would be X plus 2, and so on. So those things are array. It is a collection of data. So in order to create an array in Golang, what you have to do is you have to write array, again name. Let us use the shorthand this time. And then the first thing what you have to say is the size of the array. So, and to specify the size, you need these square brackets. So let us make an array of size 5. And also the sizes of the arrays are predefined. So yeah, you need to specify the size of the array while creating a variable. We would also discuss about dynamic arrays in the later section of this video. Okay, and then the second thing is the type of array. let us make an integer. And the third parameter is what are the any predefined values for it. Let us keep empty this time, and let's see what values does it print. I would just comment these out, but otherwise it will yell at me. Let us print this. Okay, so fmt dot print, and let's just print this array. Let's again run this file. Okay, okay, let me just format it a bit, otherwise you won't be able to see it. Backslash n is a keyword if you want to add a new line after printing. Again, these things, if you read the docs, you will get to know better. I didn't save the file, my bad. So as you can see here, you have all the zeros value here. As I have told you earlier, if you don't initialize a variable, it would take all the zeros value, or all the whatever zero value for that variable is. For integer, the zero value is zero. For boolean, it's false. So if I create a bool here, just see it would have all the false. But yeah, see, false, 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 false. It takes the zero value, as I have mentioned earlier. And yeah, this is the way of creating array. The size of array is fixed. You can't add elements more than 5. We'll also discuss about how to add dynamic arrays in this in the later section of this video. And the second thing, how to access an element. So let me create an array. Let me initialize it with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have created an array of size 5 with these variables 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you want to access the third element, so what you can do is you could say array 3. Again, you haven't this error is because you haven't used it or you haven't stored it anywhere. That's why it's error. So what you can do is we can print this. So the size of array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let us print the third array. The third element in in this array would be this fourth number. Why? Because the indexing in array starts from 0. It is the general convention of computer languages or computer programming languages that the counting would start from 0. So this is the 0th index. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer would be 3 here. Sorry, 4 here. Yeah, I misspelled that. My bad. And what if you add an index which is not in the array? What will happen? Just think about it. Okay, then let's see what happens. So yeah, it is already giving me an error, but let us just run this code. It says that the invalid argument index 5 is out of bounds, which means that you can't access any element which is out of the index of that array. So yeah, it is a common error in array that you can't access an element or you can't use an index which is greater than the size of that array because there is no element in that particular memory locations. And also later we will discuss what are dynamic arrays. For now, just stick with the basic arrays. So these are the most commonly used variables in Golang, and this is the part one. In the part two, we'll discuss more complex types such as structs, map, interfaces, pointer, channels. These are most complex types in Go and used in heavy projects. We'll also discuss about that. Yeah, I guess I left one that is string and rune. Yeah, I left two of them. So let's go with strings. Strings are again, as the name specify, it stores a string. String is any value between these curly braces. Let me show you var name. It is of type string and it would say next gen. Here it is a string. Again, string does have these things. Okay, yeah. So in Golang, strings are immutable, as same as Java, because it stores this data in an memory space. If you want to modify the string, you need to create a new variable. Okay, so after that, what we have to do, I guess only one type, what type left, that is character, which is called rune in Golang. So if you want to store a single character, so you could create a var here it's a type of SQL anyways, and that's it. So this is how you can store a particular character, and if I print them, then the error would be gone. Print name and character. That's it. So as you can see, all the errors have been gone. And if I run this, everything happens in order. I haven't added any backslash n while printing. That's why it takes a particular, that way it goes into a same line. As you can see, it's here. Then this is the marks one. Then this is the, I guess, the index one. This is the next gen 7. And what you could see here, we have this 97. So I have an assignment for you. Just go and search why when I am printing this character, it says 97. I know the answer, I could tell you now, but yeah, it won't be fun if you don't go and explore it. Just search for a sky, and that's the only hint I would give you. And see what, and put your answer in the comment box. Yeah. So that's all for the variable part one. In the part two, as I've said, I will discuss complex thing. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching.